What's a subtle sign that someone is very intelligent, understanding, appreciating nuance? They're very good at problem solving. Even if it's something they have no experience with, they always approach the problem from the right angle. When being taught to do something new, they care just as much, if not more, about why it should be done a certain way as they do about what needs to be done. My freshman college roommate was a mechanical engineer. One of the first nights we were in the dorms, we had pizza delivered. We didn't eat it all, but the pizza box didn't fit inside the dorm fridge. He went all out origami and transformed the box into a smaller, perfectly square box that did fit inside the fridge, in about 12 seconds. I'm pretty good at math, but not necessarily geometry. My mind was blown. I spent 35 years in academia between my student-teacher years, and he's still one of the 3 smartest people I've ever met. His ability to just do it is dumbfounding to me. His retirement project is transforming his father's 1963 Mercedes convertible into a hybrid that has a small diesel engine that runs on vegetable oil along with a totaled Tesla Model S battery pack. They can adapt their communication style, vocabulary, tone, content, etc., to fit the situation and people they're talking to, and it seems completely natural. They are okay with being perceived as stupid by asking questions. If we hold back in fear, we'll never truly learn. Plus, it's a good way to show others it's okay to question things if you don't understand. Better off if we're on the same page instead of hoping things work out without being informed. I consider someone intelligent if they're able to explain something incredibly complicated in simpler and more readily understood terms. Honestly, after reading their work, debates, talks, podcasts, discussions, arguing, etc., I noticed they often use conditions in their sentences. That's not absolute. There's also this saying, only a fool talks in absolute. Use, I think, many times, oftentimes, usually, it's possible. It could be if, so it appears they talk as if I can be wrong or based on what we know. If you compare sentences, so known unintelligent people, they lack these conditions and voices absolutes only. Someone who can understand someone's opposing view without having to agree with it or get angry over it. They ask really good questions and listen more than they talk. I have met several off-the-charts intelligent people. One thing I noticed that they have in common was low self-esteem. They had an actual low self-esteem club at the science fiction club I belonged to. The guy who did a lot of the calculations that allowed the Voyager probes to make the grand tour of our solar system was a member of the club. All he could think about were what he didn't know or what he physically couldn't do. The common issue I observed from these bright folks was relentless school bullying. We lose so many of these geniuses to depression, suicide, self-medication, or just flat-out self-inflicted mediocrity. Society in the US does a shitty job of nurturing intelligence. It makes me incredibly angry how many of these people's potential were wasted. I don't include myself in that club. My intelligence is dead average. Frank Zappa said it best when he said that intelligence is treated like a hideous deformity by American society. They're very observant, sometimes reserved. When they take the time to filter through any possible misunderstandings in an argument by asking questions to help them better understand the idea that's being presented, instead of immediately assuming their first interpretation of the argument is the correct one. Something that's always bugged me is when my argument gets misunderstood, and then attacked from angles where supposed errors exist, when those errors rose out of the listener's own misinterpretation. They feel challenged rather than threatened by new things, problems, ideas. They get excited sharing their knowledge and talk to people instead of at them. This probably isn't a 100% guarantee that someone is intelligent, but it's something I've noticed more often in intelligent people than in people who are just knowledgeable. They struggle with imposter syndrome. Dumb people always think they're the tits. They are okay with being perceived as stupid by asking questions. If we hold back in fear, we'll never truly learn. Plus it's a good way to show others it's okay to question things if you don't understand. Better off if we're on the same page instead of hoping things work out without being informed. They don't continually need to tell people how intelligent they are. Being gracious when other people catch up to them. It means they're very used to being in that situation and have realized that it's not worth it to point out or make a big deal of being right in the first place. They pause to think about a novel question instead of instantly blurting out an answer. Sometimes people think it means they've been stumped and claim victory. No, they're thinking, analyzing, and formulating a reply. Being able to read people very well. Adjust communication style to communicate most effectively. Also be able to read the room. Sense of humor is in there too. They mispronounce less common words. It means they probably haven't heard those words spoken much, and they learned the words by reading. They're curious and self-educated. If someone is actually intelligent, they don't put down the intelligence of others or make others' accomplishments seem small. I've never met a genuinely intelligent person who feels the need to directly, or even indirectly, hint that someone else is not so smart. When someone can admit a mistake and they know they don't know everything. Giant head.